Welcome to Coach's Corner, and I'm sitting down with one of our coaches, Cody May, CEO of Sheridan Street. He comes into our programming fairly regularly, talks about a whole slew of different things. But today we pinned you down, Cody, because I know you're traveling. You've got a lot on your plate, so I appreciate you carving out some time to take a Coach's Corner minute with me.
Happy to be here.
I've got some questions for you, sir. Surprise, surprise.
Love it.
First question. Why do you choose to coach for Govero? Why do you choose to coach for the $1 Million a Year program?
Why do I choose to coach for the $1 Million program? I think the first thing is Bob. When I got into entrepreneurship back in 2017, I started my 2016, 2017, I started my first business, and Bob really early on believed in what I was doing, and I had a brand called Create Your Purpose, and he invested in our events, and whatever I could do to give back to his community is something that he believed in me when I was just getting started, and we went to Tacky more events. He became he was a mentor to colleague, and I just am so awestruck of everything he's created over the last 5 years, see his massive trajectory and growth, and whatever I can do to provide value back to his community is something that I feel ever so indebted into. So that's part of the reason I choose to be a coach here.
It's like the gift of reciprocity, right?
Yeah.
I love that. And I
100%.
remember Create Your Purpose because
Yeah.
and Bob was involved. And I remember that was the first time I actually really learned or thought about 360 degrees of wellness in the sense of financial wellness included in that. So really, really neat to kind of tail feather into that. So Cody, you've always worked kind of business, sales, communications. You've had sort of this wheelhouse, but what put you onto this path to specifically help entrepreneurs? Because you do it in your own vein, you do it with our coaching our MDY members. So what's behind that? Why do you help us?
So I spent 10 years in telecom, working for a corporate company. And when I moved from the big box store like Best Buy to a mobile store, there was a lot of they had a district manager that always encouraged us to think of our stores like entrepreneurs, always encouraged us to think of our shops like we were running a local business. And that initially put me on to entrepreneurship. And then I started thinking about marketing. I started thinking about, and I learned more about what it meant to actually run a profitable store, what it meant to look at a profit and loss statement. I learned a lot of these things in corporate, but I was capped, and I felt like I had hit a ceiling at one point. And then when I really understood what the possibilities were with entrepreneurship and how opportunities were endless, and the only thing getting in the way of me getting to where I wanted to go was myself, and I realized that business was a game, it pushed me towards going out on my own and really trying to create something for myself, creating my own business. And when I did that, it like that idea that entrepreneurship and running a business creates endless opportunities for life and wealth and generational wealth pushed me towards wanting to give back to a community of business owners that really reignited inspiration in me, that made me realize that things were a lot bigger than I thought they were. And even having conversations now, like our conversations me and Bob have had 5 years ago, are a lot different than they are now, where it's our dreams are bigger. And it's like, as you start to grow and you stretch your mindset and you stretch your beliefs in what's possible, I think that entrepreneurship allows you to do that. And whatever I can do to give back to a community that, I've said this before, I feel genuinely saved me, reignited so much inspiration in my life. And when I graduated university, I had no idea what let me up. I thought it was corporate. And when I entered into the entrepreneur space 5-6 years ago, I realized that I'm like, oh, okay, this is really what I love, and the ability to continually grow. And that's really the reason why entrepreneurship is so important to me.
There's something to be said for that type of empowerment, right?
Mhm.
That kind of sense of accountability that you sometimes get inspired by as an employee, and then you kind of carry that with you. I share that same passion, that same vein for helping entrepreneurs being in their space, their essence. I just, you're right. It's super empowering. It's very inspiring. And we kind of like to hang out with those big dreamers. So when it comes to the $1 million year program, how are you coming in and helping our members? How does that look for you?
Yeah, so today we just literally chatted earlier today on like $1 million marketing. So I walked them through how to set up an ad, like what that means. Like, and I talked them through the theory around, messaging, targeting, creative audience. Like my strong suit has always been online ads, copywriting, sales, communication. That's always been my strong suit. And whatever I can do to give back to the $1 million community around sales and marketing, I think is definitely where I thrive. And it's something that if I could impart anything into like whether it be a marketing manager that works with you, or a social media manager, or maybe you are a entrepreneur that really wants to understand. I've studied this stuff a lot. Like, I understand on a deep level what goes into creating profitable marketing campaigns, and what goes into creating profitable sales, and how you drive revenue for your business. So that's really kind of like where I come in to kind of provide value around online ads, around marketing, around copywriting, around social media. Yeah, that's kind of like where I'm very strongly suited to educate and to help people kind of break barriers that way.
Oh, I love that. I love that about you, about Bob, about our other coaches, and sort of, everybody went to school. We've got the school background. That's great, but it's this real life experience, these practical applications, these things that we've implemented ourselves, tried, tested, worked, moved forward on. So it's really neat when we get this kind of space and together to kind of learn, right? Because MDY is like business school, right? It's like
Totally.
the refresher business school. It's the tool belt. It's what entrepreneurs can kind of lean into for support, for education, for tools to elevate, to go next level. So Cody, you could offer me a zillion tips. I mean, when it comes to like the OG Facebook ad targeters, you were like right in there when it started. So when it comes to advice, a tip, a trick, something you can throw at us to share with us right now, what would that be?
The biggest tip I've been chatting with every single real estate agent, entrepreneur, business owner is like, no amount of marketing or eyeballs can fix a crappy offer. I really believe that. Like, I believe that to the bottom of my heart, that like so many people are trying to lead their marketing efforts with like, get a free estimate, or like, this is me, I'm cool, I'm awesome. It's like, branding is so important. Telling your story is so important, but it's a long-term play. Like, branding takes time. Like, branding sells long-term. I think a lot of business owners would really benefit from sitting back, understanding their target demographic on a really, really deep level, like not just like the demographics, but the psychographics, understanding what keeps somebody up at night, and then developing an offer that is so compelling that people feel stupid saying no. I think that if you can really tackle that on a deep level, you fix your client acquisition problem. So a portion of it is, how do I get enough people into my funnel that allows me to acquire clients? But if you want to acquire more clients and you're struggling in your marketing to acquire clients, is because your offer is just not good enough and the market doesn't think it is. And if you're not acquiring clients, that's the reason.
And if I'm an entrepreneur sort of hung up on that, if I'm like, oh man, I've thought about this, I just don't have any idea. Where do we start to clear that clog, to find that offer that's
Totally.
going to make us unique? Do you have any advice for us in that space?
110%. I would read the book $100 Million Offers by Alex Hormozy. I think that will ultimately help you fix the roadblocks in your head around offers. Like, this guy, is $100 million net worth. He has built a ton of businesses, and a lot of marketers in the space, and a lot of business owners share this ethos towards marketing, where it's like, especially if you don't have a massive brand, which majority of small businesses don't have a massive brand. Maybe they think they do, but they don't have like what I would consider a massive brand. You need to have a compelling offer that gets people that reduce it. And the entire book is around this. Like, how can we reduce the risk of somebody moving forward by making the benefit a no-brainer? And I would read that book. I would study that book. And then the other book I would couple with the $100 million offers is Expert Secrets by Russell Brunson. I think if you can couple brand with a really great offer, you fix your client acquisition issues.
Oh, excellent. Great way to get creative. I love me a good book. Two great recommendations there. While we're talking about celebrities, Cody, if a celebrity were to endorse Cody May, who would it be and why would they endorse you?
Wow, that's a tough question. If a celebrity were to endorse me, celebrity, I think a celebrity that if a celebrity were to endorse me, thinking off the top of my head, somebody like Ryan Serhant would definitely benefit the business the most. I always think about from a marketing perspective, what's going to have the most level of impact. So if I were to choose a celebrity that would endorse me, it'd be Ryan Serhant, because he is one of the biggest brands in the real estate space. And then, for agents that want to grow, like real estate agents, teams that want to grow, I think that would be the endorsement that we would be looking for.
Awesome. Excellent answer. And to end this session with a quote, when Cody May has a big sales meeting, when he's got a huge meeting coming down the pipeline, you need to pump yourself up. You've got a show, whatever that looks like. What is Cody telling himself in front of the mirror before he hits the stage?
The biggest thing I'm telling myself before I hit the stage is that it's okay to dream big. The dream big is probably the biggest thing, where it's like leveling up my mindset is if I can just keep it to the back, is level up mindset, dream big.
I love it. Excellent answers today. Cody, thank you so much for sitting down for Coach's Corner. We appreciate you. Catch Cody in the $1 Million Year program. He's usually comes in maybe once a quarter, all the time, dropping nuggets of gold in those sessions. Cody, thank you so much for your time today, my friend.
Thank you so much for having me.
Have a good day, everyone.